Okay, hello and welcome back to the next episode in my Morocco Let's Play. We were beginning to annex our vassals. I had been annexing too many people, so canceled a couple of those so that we could actually go forward. I had also been allowing my people to starve, probably foolishly, because I hadn't been able to afford paying for their food previously. And now I'm paying, so. Murcia. Oh, this area is not was never integrated. Okay, that's actually okay. I'll assign one of my people who is encouraging tribesmen to settle. To integrate Murcia. Bum 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 bum. Can always use more food. It feels like this is purely vibes based. I feel like olives will also sell more for more than wheat will sell for. So they're building lots of these charcoal kilns. So the Sevilla one died? Did it die? It must have died. And now there's a new Badajoz one, which is Portugal. Interesting. I don't know if this is good. I think when I conquer everything, I think I would probably prefer to just have Lisboa and then Faz. But I'm not sure because this area would also just not have very good market access. Like, what is this? This says like probably functionally 0. Yeah, minus 75% market access basically. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It is cool that I got all of southern Spain in my trade network though. That is something I want to change, which is the employment system. So I like this infrastructure than most profitable one. Because I want my profitable buildings staffed. If they're making money, staff that first. Okay, I got some. I could improve relations with my vassals. I think there's worse things I could spend my diplomats on. I can build a spy network again on Portugal. Okay, so I should get that going. So Aragon is getting their teeth kicked in by France right now. I will say that I'm shocked, genuinely, that we have not had a coalition form against us. And I wonder if it's just because we're so far away. Like, I actually just have no idea. I'll be interested to see when my truce expires with Castile. I mean, like, if Castile doesn't form a coalition against me, I would be astounded. Like, that just wouldn't make any sense. Has the starving stopped? No, it is not. Okay, my province is still starving. Why are you starving? Whatever, I'll just keep building food. I'm paying for your food now. Whatever. I assume it'll just take time. Okay, building some roads would be good to do at some point. Increased ties to subject is always nice. just -5 liberty desire. I think that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna go for that. But no, I'm gonna go for this for the diplomats. And the main reason I want to go for this is that I want to see if I can. Yeah, let's take that. Sure. Grant privilege. Oh, this basically makes the more powerful. I wonder what would happen if I gave it to them now and then clicked that button. I want to see for science, because this actually isn't a bad privilege, but I would rather get the bonus happiness. So if I did that, and then I also clicked that, I do think I think they got the happiness. Okay, change policy, strict censorship. No, okay. So that was kind of a waste. Ask for a law change. I still think it's worth getting the law change. So right now I have nobility controlled mining operations, which is okay. I tend to prefer this burger controlled one, but I actually don't know, because having the higher noble elite satisfaction would be good. Aristocratic court. More expensive. Right, so if I take any nobility, if I take any privileges away from the nobility, I'm going to be able to tax them less. Because I'm like already, my equilibrium is not that high. Like I don't have like a satisfaction equilibrium of like 70 or something like that. So I'm not sure if I want to get rid of the aristocratic court. Estate as satisfaction equilibrium -5. I don't think that's good. That's bad. I want to change that. I can get happier estates. No, I think I'll just go with this. Our geo size is really good. The centralization is not amazing, but like I like this. This basically means that my estates all like me more now, which means I can tax them more, because all of these people were below their max tax. That was worth it, and then I'll just eat the 7, whatever, the 7 stability. I want the noble one is good. It gives me more levies, which I kind of need right now. Eventually, I need to start thinking about going down here. Let me. When I have a diplomat again, I'll start spying on Mali. We might see if we can work something out, because I think coming down here and beating them up and taking some gold would be good. Yeah, there's some gold down here. Like, this is not good. I think this is basically garbage, all of this. But there's gold down here, which is good. Something I've been thinking about, another, like I've been griping about this game, and I hope it's clear that I completely adore it, but another thing that has been kind of like weird or annoying that this game doesn't have is there's no concept of like second order profit for trades. So for example, let's say that I was playing as the Mamelukes. Well, what it seems like would make a lot of sense is for me to buy things in India, right? Like let's just look at it. So if I like look here and I go to goods and I sort by there's the most of them. You have pepper here, right? Like pepper is in a surplus in this Indian trade good. That's crazy. You have an insanely huge surplus of dyes, a large surplus of pepper, right? So the point that I'm making is that there's a lot of like very valuable trade goods that are in surplus in India that in a European country, like let's go to the Geneva trade node and look at like what's most in desire. I'm not sure if any of these are going to have pepper yet, because I think you kind of have to be exposed to the trade good before your pops like start demanding it. But by like the 1500s, pepper is is in demand. And you can make a lot of money, right, as the Mamluks if you imported from India. You imported into Alexandria, and then from Alexandria you imported to like the European trade markets. And that's historically kind of what happened. This part of the world would trade with this part of the world primarily as like a conduit for like terminal trade in the Mediterranean, right? But what this doesn't model very well is it doesn't model the idea of those middlemen, like the profit seeker, and that's I just don't. Maybe some AI change, because as a human player you can do it. I was kind of doing it down here in South Africa. I was like importing things from China and India and then exporting them, but you have to do it manually because the AI doesn't understand kind of like it's not profitable to do this trade. And so because it's not profitable to do this trade, it doesn't happen, and so then you don't have the chain, but it would be profitable to do the two-step trade, even if this part of the leg of the step was not profitable. You know, like you could think about it in very abstract terms as it's Amazon loses money by having to transmit your product, but like they lose that money because they make the money from the total, the whole thing. Okay, I'm still losing money. Not money, I'm still losing pops. Pretty prestigiously. Province starving. I thought that I dealt with this. Maybe it's going to take more time. Like maybe the food stores just have to like go above some threshold before the famine stops. Yes. Okay, cool. So the coalition, I think, is finally going to form. It's probably just going to be when my treaty with Castile expires. So this sparks a question. So I could just consolidate these. Or honestly, I just don't care about the footmen. They're totally pointless. So I could finish passive and political crisis. My cabinet is less efficient, or I lose prestige. I really could not care at all about prestige. What was I saying? So I should declare war on Portugal if I can via the jihad before my truce with Castile expires, because I really don't want to have to face a coalition, and they're already like kind of distracted, I think, by this war with France. The problem for me right now is that I'm losing manpower. Okay, if I just raise this fully, would I recover pretty much immediately? Because it's saying I'm losing manpower, so I'm not able to use the thing. Okay, so I can fire a guy from my cabinet for 10 legitimacy. Yeah, I'll take that trade. Basically, would I pay 32 gold for 10 legitimacy? And the answer is definitely yes. I'm interested to see how much respawn in this unit. Okay, cool. So I think next month I should fully refresh, and then I'll be gaining again. The Seville cavalry served me extremely well in the war against Castile. I was a big fan of them. Look at the little Portuguese army. I'm gonna have to ferry my troops across like one at a time. That may end up having to wait for my next recording session. Okay, cool. So I'm no longer losing men. I am gaining greater than 0. I'm gaining 1. Maybe I'll wait till the next month. No, you're still losing people in prestigious quantities. What was that sound? I didn't like that. Okay, so call Jihad. Interesting, I could call a Jihad on Mali. Or I could do one on Aragon. I actually think that a Jihad on Mali sounds very interesting. But I'm gonna have to face the Fury, and I have like too many vassals already. Whereas this, I could just like feed the vassals or take the money. I was really hoping I could call one on Portugal. I'm not sure why I can't. Weird. Weird. Okay, well, what do we want to do? Do we want to do the Jihad against Mali? They probably have a lot of money, so I could just take that. Yeah, I say we do it. I say we ball. Okay, cool. So I'm in the Jihad now. And if I remember correctly, the way that this works is that like I can invite people. Yeah, but no one really wants to be part of it. That makes sense. I'm not even gonna bring my heavy cavalry. I don't think there's any point. So I have 3 odd K. I am just gonna stand you down. Because I don't really have boat ferrying capacity. And I'm not sure how strong Mali actually is. But if I'm gonna stand thumb down. No, I should use them. I don't even know what I'm rushing about. I'm like trying to save myself time. Okay. Let's load this guy up. I'll be interested to see if any of my Spanish vassals are actually able to get across. But I will say that seeing this makes me actually a little bit optimistic for the inevitable coalition war I'm gonna have to fight. Because this swarm of vassals, I think will hopefully be able to hold their ground a little bit. Okay, so I can fit a weight of 250. Yeah, but the peasants aren't actually that heavy. Okay, that's the last of them. This one boat has done me great services. Look at them, they're like the British at Dunkirk. They're all trying to escape into the ocean to just come help me. They just want to help me so bad. But alas, no. They cannot. I'll be interested to see if my characters all just die from malaria. I believe when you play as like a European country, they all just die. But I think there's malaria in North Africa. I'm actually not sure. Is there malaria here? Yeah, there's malaria. It's like I think my dudes are gonna actually be immune to malaria. The Great Pestilence. Oh, I want to see how much money does Mali have? 300 gold. It's actually not that much. You love to see some vassals swarming. It's like my favorite thing about vassals is the fact that they swarm. Okay, let's try to get out of this horrendous desert. Why am I losing money? Oh, I'm losing people because I'm in like... Oh, wait. Okay, pause. Okay, so the Malayan are... Malayan? Malayan? I actually don't know. The army of Mali. Why am I starving? Am I starving? Oh, it's because there's too many people here. Whatever. I'm gonna go south. I should probably chase them down. You should all be on aggressive. Might as well kill these Songhai. I think that's a Songhai flag, right? I actually have no idea. West Africa is so fascinating. There's this one of the most underknown, like, coolness to known relative ratio. West Africa is pretty high. One of the most fascinating periods of time was in the like 18th century, before the Europeans really like conquered and colonized it all. There was, I wonder if they're going to be in the game already. There were a people group called the Fulani. I don't think they are here, but basically what they did was they like led like a whole bunch of jihads. This is my understanding. I could be wrong. Across basically a whole bunch of jihads across West Africa. And so there's now like Fulani people all over the place. One of the big groups is the House of Fulanis. So they're like in northern Nigeria. And one of the big... Oh, it was Songhai. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. But one of the big countries they set up was Sokoto. So if you ever play Victoria 3, that's why it's there. But they had a whole bunch of fascinating things. And like, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I read a book about them. But they had like these like warrior philosopher priest guys that basically they were like half warrior, half priest, half philosopher, which is always a sick combo, kind of like Teutonic order coded. And then there's some other cool stuff in West Africa. I also believe that there was like they were Iron Age. They're kind of like I believe like early Bantu farmers were Iron Age for thousands of years, if I remember correctly. Or at least a relatively long time, but they have some really cool ironworking stuff from West Africa, and then they also had like a very cool culture around the iron workers who would like itinerantly travel. Itinerant implies they were poor, which I don't think that they were, but like we'd kind of travel from town to town as like sort of like fire magicians. That shit is like... We underestimate how crazy stuff like metal and gunpowder and everything like that was back in the day. There's a crazy story about Christopher Columbus where towards the end of his life, he got stranded on an island in the Caribbean and was being like harassed by the Native Americans who obviously didn't want him on their island, and his crew was rebellious and stuff. And he obviously knew the time of a solar eclipse, and so he like, according to him, he could have been lying, but I don't see why he would have lied about this. There were lots of other people there who collaborate the information. Basically, like, predicted that the solar eclipse would happen, and like the Native American people who were harassing him, like trying to get him off their island, like thought that he had like magic powers and was able to like make the solar eclipse occur. Which is just crazy. I mean, like, it makes sense. Like he said that like it's from an empirical perspective, it seems like a pretty rational conclusion. There's some other like crazy science stories. One of my favorites is that the conquistadors, like kind of like Western science interacting with people who don't understand it, but who are like smart, rational actors. There was in Mesoamerica, the conquistadors had to make their own gunpowder, obviously, and so they like descended into a volcano to get sulfur. And then obviously the Native American people like thought that they had like harnessed the power of a volcano to shoot fire from their guns, which is, like I said, I think a pretty empirically robust conclusion to arrive at. Like, bar some, like, if you're a Popperian, let's just, like, do some good epistemology or whatever, right? You have a theory. You make some, like, testable predictions. The testable prediction is that they're able to shoot fire out of the tip of their gun. It works. They got it from the volcano. Of course, it turned out to be wrong. That's not what they were doing, but I think this war's going pretty good. Just kind of beating the shit out of them. I'm not sure if I'm capturing slaves, or if so, how many. I need them to replace my starving people, who I think are still starving. I have no idea how long that's going to last for. Is this like a forever thing? It's just going to depopulate. Okay, no. They're no longer starving. But they are almost entirely slaves. Tons of Castilian slaves, in fact. It's kind of funny. Like a macabre way. Where the hell does macabre come from? Like, I know it means just like spooky. And it's like every English word that like, it kind of has lasted, I think, mostly because it sounds vaguely spooky. But I don't know what it comes from. There's like the dance macabre, right? I don't even know what that means. Like the spooky dance. That makes the most sense to me. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely at the end of this video, I think I'm going to stop recording. I've been going for a little while, a couple hours now. Dude, I have no idea how a Roomba fucking got 8 videos out every day. That was fucking insane. I mean, I guess, like, on one hand, yes. Right? Like, yeah, no, just yes, that's insane. It's just so much content. Back in the good old days, but I have so many memories of being in high school and just like refreshing his Arumba's YouTube page constantly for every 3 hours for the next YouTube video to land. I was a really cool high schooler, if you guys can't tell. Very hip. I hope he's doing good. I talked about it, I believe, in the earlier cut that didn't record the actual gameplay, but it was to kind of like prep for this like attempt at a YouTube channel. I was going back and I was listening to the videos that he had made back in the day, and the contrast between him in like 2013, 2014, and now is just insane. Like, he just seems so down, and like, I guess like it sounds bad to say, but like almost like a broken man. And that's sad because he really meant a lot to me, and I like want nothing, like sincerely, I want nothing but the best for him. I heard, like, I think he got divorced. I heard there was drama between him. I've like looked it up before. Like I could pretend like I haven't like done the most basic thing, like Google it and stuff. My understanding is that just life has been hard. Got divorced, and then you have some drama with Paradox and stuff. It is a a thing to be aware of, I think, whenever you transition from something like this being like a hobby you do or like a side gig to the way that you like pay your mortgage. Because it's just, it just becomes different. The flavor changes. Not necessarily for the worse, right? But it's not something you can just like goof off about. Okay, cool. Boinked them. I've got a lot of war score against you. I could probably get a pretty good piece. I'm just gonna take as much as I can. And then, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? So they have minus 14 for fiefdoms. And what are vassals at right now? Vassals have nothing. So I could make some more vassals. I think at the very least taking the little islands makes sense. I know they're not islands, they're like oases or something. Along with maybe something like that. And I can turn all of these boyos into vassals. And then let's obviously take all of your money. And war reparations. And then I could make you release some people, but I don't think that makes sense. So I'll just do this. It's less money than I would have hoped, but wait, did I lose all my guys? Did they all die? That actually would be really bad if that's true. Nah. Again, it is what it is. You guys are going to get to see all my blunders. Okay, you're going to become a vassal with a random character. Vassal. I'm just going to turn each of these little oases, I think, into their own vassal. Because I have to imagine control does not, like, particularly propagate well through this area, right? Like, let me actually look. What is the control cost? So it does propagate through. That's what I'm saying, but I want to see what the So, okay, so it's just like a normal unbuilt road, basically. But probably with some nasty modifiers, right? Jesus. No, just desert. It's actually not that bad. Okay. It's good to know. So control can just propagate through the Sahara Desert, basically. Although not like particularly well, because I don't think you can build roads on it. Well, this seems like a pretty natural, good stopping point. I've accomplished my primary goal of getting control of Iberia. Set up some vassals, gonna begin to work towards annexing them once I get the Algerian coast done. Making progress on annexing this boyo. It's gonna take a long time. I wonder if it makes sense to cancel. I think it will. I don't even know if I want to annex this one anyway. And I can enforce my culture on them first. I think that makes more sense. And then I can annex these small ones, which will move faster anyway. Okay. Well, lots of wasted time doing that. This is going to annoy me. The fact that we're like exactly the same color. This is funny. There's two Ghanas. That's really funny. Interesting. So there's a Ghana here. Does anyone know? Does anyone know how Ghana went from here to here? Like, what was the story? Like, I'm sure there's just like some like pretty easy like European colonial explanation. Like I don't know, the British called everything Ghana, and so then the colony they had was just called Ghana. But I'd love to know. Either way, that is a good point to stop. Let me know if you enjoyed any of this stuff in the comments. So see everyone in the next one.